Today I'm making beef and noodles, and what you'll need is around a 2-pound chuck roast, a can of cream of mushroom soup, 1 package of Lipton onion soup mix, some noodles, and I'm going to cook mine for 6 hours on high in my crock pot. I've got my roast in my crock pot, and I've sprinkled the Lipton onion soup on the top of it. Now I'm going to add just enough water to cover. As you can see, I didn't fill my crock pot full of water. There's no need to, but I've got my meat covered, and the juice. And you want to retain this. I call them pan drippings. When you take your roast out when it's done, because we're going to use this to help make the broth to put our noodles in. Alright, it's been over 6 hours and my roast is done. And I poured my pan drippings into a saucepan. I'm going to put it on the stove, and I'm going to add my cream of mushroom soup and stir that up in there, and then I'll add my noodles, and I'm going to let them cook on medium. I've got my soup mixed into my pan drippings, and I've added my noodles, and I'm going to cover these, and I'm going to keep a close eye on them, stirring them every 10 minutes or so. And if I need to, I may have to turn my heat down to low after it gets to cooking good. And I'm also going to shred up and cut up my roast. So now that I've got the noodles going, we'll get the roast ready to put in there. So I'm just going to cut this roast up. Good and tender. Try to get most of the fat off of there. This happened to be a boneless one. If you've got some steaks, throw it back in your freezer and you're wanting to get them used up or something, you can thaw them out and cook them in the same process, and they'll taste great in there. You know, or you can use stew beef. If you use stew beef, when you cook it, you might want to add a tablespoon of vinegar. It won't add any flavor, but it'll help your meat be more tender. Stew beef sometimes has a tendency to be kind of chewy. So now I get this all cut up. I'm going to just throw it in with my beef and noodles, or my noodles, and let it all cook in there for about 30 minutes. Our noodles, our beef and noodles, they're cooking nice, bubbling along. These are a little bit juicy, so even though my noodles are good and tender, I'm going to let it I'm going to cover it and let it continue cooking for a little bit longer to help cook some of that juice out. You can serve it this way, or you could even take a little bit of water and put some cornstarch in it and put it in here, and that will thicken it up for you. Or, like I said, just cover it and continue letting it cook for a little bit longer. Here's our noodles, all beef and noodles. They're all done. Oh, they look good, don't they? They smell great. I think this is a recipe that you'll try it, you'll really enjoy it.